Thanks, Vijay. Thanks, Mukesh, for giving me the opportunity. I'm really honored and delighted to be here today to speak to an audience which, on any scale, on IT and enablement, is significantly higher than I would ever perceive to be there. So I will be very honest and upfront and say on things like IT stuff, but I will just share with you what the Luminous journey has been, and towards the end, throw it open for you to ask any questions, any comments, any feedback to us, any suggestions to us. I'll be very much open to it. Brief about Luminous. It's a 27-year-old company, started by an entrepreneur, Rakesh Malhotra. Came from a very crying need of the power shortage in India. Was one of the first few people to think of making an inverter. Interestingly, the first market for inverters was in Calcutta, where there was a huge power shortage, and today there are hardly inverters sold. So things change, and I will talk a little later about in the IT world how things have changed and what significant impact it has on our daily lives, and I'll share some experiences as we go along. Over 5,000 people, we have our own R&D, 8 factories, 74% of us is owned by Schneider, which acquired the company about 4 years ago. We're not that big on social media, but nevertheless, we get traction. About 230,000 people go onto social network and talk about Luminous out there. We do export, big distribution network, and a very, very large inverter base. And that's the key point, that if you have a large inverter base, how do we use that base to get the consumer? And towards the end, there's a very nice example. We're talking about it. This is our product basket. So we are basically a power storage company. That's traditionally where we come from. So we make inverters, we make batteries, and about last 2 years ago, we are diversified into home electricals, basically making wires and fans. We have an ambition in our dream is to be not only a power storage company, but a home electrical solutions company is where we see ourselves going in the next 4 to 5 years of the journey. Diversified portfolio, which leads to very, very diversified channel partners, factories, and integrating them together into one bind is something where we believe the information and technology has helped us across so many different verticals. And that's one of the biggest challenges we face today in our management team, is that do we have information is available, but does it facilitate decision making? That's the key question we ask ourselves. Yes, we have information, but can we quickly be turned around in different slices of data we need to make a decision? And I think that's where the big leap and faith has come today within the IT world, within the IT systems at Luminous. I mean, this is a very, very important thought. I mean, I started my career way back in 1984. I remember my first job was with a company called TTK, and then subsequently I worked with a company called Johnson & Johnson. And then I joined a company that time called Indian Shaving Products, which subsequently got called Gillette India. And I remember very distinctly, there used to be a computer room. It was, nobody could enter it. It was supposed to be the most sanitized part of the office. That's the only room which had an air conditioner. So people found more than IT reasons to go into a room and sit there for some time and keep punching on the keyboard. I remember seeing the cards system out there, to an evolution to a desktop, to a laptop, to a phone, and to now we're talking of connected life. We are really talking of connected life. In Luminous, we're saying, is it possible that can we go to the consumer and say, there's a consumer is not next to the product, but can he see sitting in the office, that is my battery charge, what's the situation of my inverter? If I go home, what's the history of the last 10 power cuts? How long have they been there? Am I ready? To provide that comfort and to provide that whole piece of innovation out there. I worked for 5 years at Nokia, and I think one of the most amazing journeys in India has been on mobile connectivity. I very, very strongly believe that it's yet not over. I believe, and I remember very well, I think it was 2009 or 10. There was a global presentation at Nokia, and it said a very large proportion, a very, very large proportion of people in India, it's almost at 90% plus, and will have the first experience of the internet on the phone. Those smartphones were 25,000 rupees plus. People said this guy is, probably had a glass of wine on the flight when he's come in the morning. Nobody believed. Today smartphones are 2,000 rupees, 2,500 rupees. Internet connectivity is a given. Today, the leap of internet connectivity has today led to a change in the retail industry. The retail industry is a threat. The physical brick and mortar retail industry is a threat because of not the internet. Somebody's joined the dots of the internet and e-commerce. And the brick and mortar industry is at its peril today. It's very important that in a country like India, where the cost of real estate is so expensive, the modern trade, which came with such a big bang and so much money being put and thought that it will take away the shape, I think the e-commerce and the internet has changed the leap. I think it's like in India, people thought pages will be very big, but mobile just came ahead of the game and changed the game out there. I think it's similarly in terms of the retail industry. I think the e-commerce and the internet availability has changed the game. I don't think the modern trade is really going to make it that very big. It will have a benefit value, but I think the internet and e-commerce is going to go to show. So internet and how you connect the dots can change the shape of a market. Yesterday we were having a review with the service team, and we were talking about back end to front end. So we have got service centers, about 120 in the country, and the total workforce is about 1,800 people who work in that division. And there was a huge discussion going on for 2 hours. Cost of service is going up. How do we bring it down? And then we suddenly started realizing, we turned the numbers and said, our ratio of front end to back end was 2:1. We said, that's weird. Why should we have a front end to a back end ratio of 2:1? And then people said, no, wherever I have a service center, I need these 4 people. I said, now let's go back and think that if I want a ratio to come to 1:4, 1:5, how can internet and technology help us? Do we need everybody to be in the same location? Can we do a multiplier? And then people start thinking that look at the public taxi or the business. I remember my life when I used to travel as a salesperson, there was a telephone number which was the most important number, was to call the black and yellow cab home to take you to the airport, and at the airport and at the Delhi railway station. That was the most harrowing experience of travel. To find the cab, get in the cab and go home, what he will do. I have not seen a black and yellow cab in the last 24 months. It's a revolution. The cost has come down, the internet and the connectivity. So how do you join the dots in the business is, I think, where the leverage of the money is available in the internet. It's just not the internet and the connectivity which brings the business. How do you join the dots and produce value is where I think people are looking for to put the bucks in this. Okay, this is the solution. This is the answer. That's where. And you will see, I think there will be other phases of the market and industry which will see a massive revolution. CEOs are, they're always paranoid. They want to overload themselves with data. Sometimes they don't want data. So they will confuse. I think the most important point before a management team, I wouldn't say, is availability of data and its flexibility to take decisions. Sheer raw data doesn't really help. And at times, the understanding of the consumer, understanding of what that real person wants, is, I think, brings the wow factor in the solution business. I will take another example. Many years ago, today we have Salesforce and all these portals available. And I'll go about 10, 15 years ago. Gillette in India was trying to find a a package to be able to automate what distributors do. We have a large distributor base, and they go into large number of outlets. Say, let's take an example, 200,000 outlets covered by roughly about 1,000 distributors. So the visibility of data is always a challenge. So somebody said, why don't you go down to, another country, say like go to Turkey, which was at that point in time a little ahead of what we were in India. And I went and met the salesperson, the sales head. I said, I've been told I must come and see you. You are today a benchmark in bringing IT into the sales team. I said, what do you do? He said, I've got this system. I've got all my distributors hooked up to the data. So I said, what do you do? What exactly do you do? They said, we have real-time data coming in through the net. I said, okay, so what do you do after that? Do you see every data? Do you mine everyday data? Can you see on a laptop what are the last 5 reports you saw? He said, no, I don't do that. I said, then what do you do? He said, I have a team of 5 guys who produce the 10 reports I need. But if I want the 11th and 12th report, I call the guy. So I have simplified my life. I have the data, but I need the X number of reports, which I get them with me, and I manage my life. So the flexibility to produce the slices of data for decision making is what is the cutting edge. He was not going to be online. I knew, and when I met him, very sure, he's not going to sit on the SAP system and check and learn. But he has a framework of how he wants to take decisions. And I think that customization brings the wow factor. We were about to spend, crores of rupees into it. But we said, okay, we can still spend the money, but do we have the flexibility? Do we have the last mile innovation on top of it, which can give the slice of data, which give the decision making? I think that's very key from a customer's point of view. That's very key from inside the company. That how will it help me to make decisions? I think this is a much talked about slide. I think the kids born after 98 eat more Wi-Fi than food. Every home, every day I go home, my daughter says, the Wi-Fi is not working. I say, what do you do? Whatever was there, I consumed it. So I think digital is a way of life. We need to accept it, both in the social framework and the office framework. But how to bring it about in a meaningful manner, so it is used by people, it leads to decision making, it leads to facilitation, I think is absolutely the key which drives us in the company. People talk about the culture change. Yes, I agree, it is a culture change. Any change in an organization will be a challenge. If you go to somebody and say, you are working in a style A, I'm going to change it to style B, he says, why should I do it? But I think the appeal, the way you can package it, the way you can customize it, and I think the next slide really answers the question. At Luminous, and I take great pride, Chandar is with us, I think the benefit we have derived is to go and understand what that person really wants. It's not one silver bullet which goes to everybody. There are situations we have just gone and said, the sales head would write, I need this 10 kinds of data. And somebody would go to the field and say, what really does the data do for him? And then he said, you don't need anything big, you just need a small app. You go onto the app, just punch these 5 data, and you're done with it. So I think understanding what the customer needs. In a situation, there is a service team which is worried about inventory, pilferage. I got 1,000 lines of stock lying with me. We got 120 service centers. You need a SAP CRM. You need a different solution. So understanding what the customer really wants, I think, has been some of the benefits from where we derived from. We really not the epitome of digitization and computerization in the country, but I think we have adopted simple, workable solutions which have improved the efficiency very, very significantly in the company. So to take a leap further, we have gone on a stage-wise approach. It is not that suddenly all the departments take off towards the digitization and computerization. We said, okay, we will start from the factory. We will start from e-bidding. We will start from tracking the production. We will start from distributors what they will do. We will start from marketing what they want to do in digital and run the whole chain of the value creation in the company and gone in a stepwise manner. And I think we have taken stages, simple solutions, customized for that particular department, and then linking it to the second one, and the third one, and the fourth one, and the fifth one, and the sixth one. That's the real success. It's not really about how big the solutions are. They may be simple. They may not be the most efficient. If somebody were to do a critical evaluation of what to do, probably there will be 10 more ideas, maybe 100 more ideas. But their working today is more important. Can those teams use them and fly together? Absolutely correct. I think the effectiveness today depends upon how many people use it and how many people go. So traditional sales guys today come and say, I can tell you from my portal how many of my batteries have been sold with a warranty card. This is wow. 5-6 months ago, just not possible. So I think very, very simple solutions, customize, is what really delivers the wow factor. These are some of the examples we have done within Luminous. We have been on e-bidding, product traceability, when it was produced, which line it was produced, which worker was involved, partnership, SAP CRM and service, CTAC, which is customer satisfaction scorecard, is something we worked upon. Suppliers portal, people can see their purchase order, they can see what's being bought, when they will get the supply, payments out there. Employee empowerment, there's an employee portal out there, and MFSA, which is for the sales guys to be able to put the data out there, and on the service to track that I finished the call at this point in time. So this is a complete cycle is what we worked out through. It's not been an easy journey. I was been here only for 1 year, but if I look at 3-year period, the pace has been very, very, very good. I think these are all simple. These are all, some of the solutions are customized, some of them are off the shelf, but making them work in simplified manner is, I think, what the success has been at Luminous. So we have the passion to innovate. We really want to go out and beat competition, and we believe that our own efficiencies will come from IT. We very strongly believe, though we're coming from a different, background, different situation out there, but the belief in the company about IT and how it can be used today. Some of our distributors are very, very traditional distributors. They know how to offload batteries and sell batteries, and they are now getting into a system that I can put it there. And another thing which I've seen is a big leap in the generation. There's a father who says, I only look at the finance, but there's a son who's more, savvy to say, okay, I will handle this part of it. But the most important point is, from our side, Luminous is customized, simple, and which absolutely people say, okay, I can use this, is I think what we've gone with. And I think our experience has been very, very good. Within the Schneider world, we got the best award for the IT system at an India level between all the various verticals, which also tells us that when you have flexibility in that domain and customization, we really have a wow factor. So I will stop here and I'll throw it open for any questions. Thank you very much. Thank you. Any questions, any thoughts, anything you want to ask? We have the time.
So I think I have one, but I don't think we need a mic out here. So I speak on behalf of the technology people. I think I said it. Okay. Yeah. So this question is not exactly. The key question is, from a technology perspective, the question which comes to our mind is, what drives business value of IT, and how do you basically approve CapExes? What value do you see? Because many IT projects have intangible value, so you cannot have a direct relation with value. So how do you actually assess business value of IT?
I think there are two parts to it. I would say one is critical for business. So there is no, you really can't do a ROI calculation. It's absolutely critical. It's like a no-brainer. If you don't have it, the business will go down. So there's not a question of ROI. It's a question of are we willing to take the risk? I'll take an example. In Nokia, we were at one point in time a $3 billion company, and we were running on spreadsheets and phone call from distributors to get data. So there was somebody from Finland who came down. He was the chief technology. I think there was a proposal of, I think it was good, $4 or $5 million of huge capex. He said, "What's the ROI?" I said, "I don't have the ROI, but I can tell you if I don't have this $3 billion at risk. Now you can calculate the ROI yourself and sit with the CFO and fix it. As I'm telling you, if you don't give this to me, this $3 billion at risk. So you cannot make whatever ROI you want to make out of it." So he stopped there, and then he said, "Okay, we go ahead." So I think it's to my mind, stakeholders have to understand what is business critical, and there's an ROI. Yeah, you can say that, okay, if I do this, these processes will get eliminated, and therefore the speed of decision making will be important. And I think that's where the gut feel comes in. Says, okay, I think this is making sense. It's too complicated. If the distributor is going to take 4 hours to point the data, it's not going to work. Some people say we need online connectivity. I believe distributors, even if you get data once a day and you upload it to the system, it's good enough. You don't, people have come and sold us distributor portal with online data. I say, yeah, give us a break. There's a distributor in Faridkot, he's going to sell some, 5 or maybe 50 phones. Even if I come to know in the evening, it's okay. So I think that's a gut feel. You need to know that it's not 0-100. There are shades which you can take in it, and I think there's a gut feel that tells you, okay, I think this one makes sense, and I think we'll take this appetite. It comes from within, but there are some which are business critical. No, it will collapse. There's no way we can continue without information. I hope it answers that. I think there are 2 there.
Good morning, everybody. So I have a question that there would be major hindrances and fluctuations in using digitization in the, but IT is something which you cannot avoid in the near future. Do you see any key challenges or things which people need to address in the near future?
I think the challenges will go down, in my view. I think the younger generations which are coming into the employment field, for them it is like they cannot work without it. But I think the most important point will be the buffet will be very large to pick. We're just talking about SAP, people talking 10%, 20%, 40%, 50% effective utilization. I think the buffet is large. I think the challenges organizations are going to face is about cherry picking the solution, and And I think the big challenge people are going to face is, do I buy something for 10 years? Do I buy something for 3 years? Or do I buy something for 6 months? That's the big question which guys will be constantly battling with. Because if you ask me something very clearly, because things are changing, I should buy something for 10 years. But I don't even know what 10 years will look like. That's the catch today, I think, as businesses are facing. 10 years ago, you could very easily say, buy this mainframe computer and, there's an ROI of 10 years. Today with cloud and so many things changing, if somebody came and says, boss, I think this is going to work for 3 years, I'll be more comfortable taking the decision than somebody saying it will work for 10 years. I don't see, I know people can visualize and talk about 10-year scenario, but it's very difficult to fathom them and take decisions on that horizon. Does that answer your question?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
So,
yeah. Hi. Good morning. I believe you have implemented many solutions, small solutions. So my question is, are these solutions integrated? If not, what were the challenges you faced? And if were integrated, what was the difficulty you faced to integrate them? Thank you.
This is a very, very good question. And I think yes, you can have a complete integrated solution if you want to write it down. It's possible. You have to see the cost and the effort to involve in the implementation of it, and how many people will use a complete integrated solution. Now, I could link the production to the sale and have everybody the visibility of that. But how many people will use it, and how often will they use it, and how often? So I think there is merit in constantly evaluating that if we are standalone versus completely integrated. Now, from purchase to production to CNFA, I think there is one piece which I believe integrated, and one visibility is important. But there is a customer piece and the consumer piece which is very different. Because the behavior and the requirements of data are so different that today, while we have, if you want, we can make all the pieces talk, but the people who use it and the way they want to slice the data is at times better to leave them standalone rather than integrating it. And I think you have to evaluate the cost and effectiveness, and how often will people use it is the question before the companies and how they take the decision. So, sorry, can you get another mic here, please? No, it's not.
Okay, my name is Abhijit. The question is that Luminous has started with inverter and then battery and so on. Now you have a lot of other products on your portfolio. So what is your future plan, or what is your roadmap? Do you have any roadmap for the product as well as the technology?
Yeah, so I think in terms of the business areas where we are looking at, I think the traditional inverter battery business will continue to grow for 2 or 3 reasons. One is that today we may see a situation where the power supply and power demand, there is a gap. And today the gap is also there because the industrial production has not peaked up the way government would have envisaged it. And I think we believe that between the two, there will always be a gap of somewhere between 5 to 10%. 2, the transmission and distribution losses are still pretty significant in the country, which will leave during the peak seasons of the year reasonably large gap for people to go and buy inverter and battery. The second domain which you're looking at is solar, which we believe has a big potential. I think in the 3 to 5 year period, consumer rooftop solutions will see attraction, with something which we're working on, and there will be multiple solutions in there. The third area which we are very keen and overworking is in the home electrical space. We have been into the fan business and the wire business. I think in the next 1 to 2 years, definitely one category, maybe 2 categories we will enter there. So I think we will see ourselves as somebody who can be trusted to provide a home power solution. We want to be seen as a company which consumer can trust when it comes to power and power management in the house. Does that answer your question? Yeah, there was one question in the back. Oh, yeah. Can we have it in the back? I think you raised the hand first. Okay, please.
To you, sir, what is your IT roadmap for the next 3 years, and how will you ensure your business is aligned with the IT needs and services? Thank you.
I said very beginning that I'm not an IT guy, and I'm sure I have the experts with you, which is Chandar, who can come up and stand and answer this question.
So I will answer 2 questions. First question, I think someone asked whether we have an integrated system or not. Vipul rightly said we took call sometimes there's a cost-benefit analysis and ease of implementing a solution while we look for an integrated solution or a standalone solution. Even though we use a hybrid model. So even if we have a standalone solutions, so we have one version of truth. So our data gets stored at one place. So it is not my reporting, because everything is integrated as far as my database decision which management needs to take. If you look at solution perspective, there might be I would say silos, but ultimately everyone getting integrated to a single data warehouse so that management can have a single version of truth. Now talking about IT roadmap for 3 years, I'm good you have asked this question, IT roadmap 3 years. Someone asked me a question, IT roadmap for 5 years. I told them, boss, I don't make plan for 5 years. someone says, okay, IT roadmap for 3 years. People rightly said, business is so dynamic. If I today tell you, my roadmap is for 1 year. So 1 year, we are exactly, because because I made some plan around about 2 years back. If I look at it, I would have been, I remember, I joined this company 2.5 years back, and probably people is not aware, we are going with Nokia models for implementing my Salesforce solution. If I would have gone for that solution, so you can understand, I jumped in, I said, no, we have to go in with Android based because this is going to stay for future. But honestly, if you ask me, what is, I would say next stage, so that is always a challenge. So our roadmap is very clear because the way business is growing, so we are connecting with consumer more and more. So we have a large base of distributors and dealers. So how we can create, because what happens is, as the technology is growing, you need to mature your solutions accordingly. So if you see the complete piece of digitization, we have already done that. Now the next piece is, which Vipul had shown his slide was, now my devices would start talking. So that's a very, very important piece for us, because that will connect me to customer directly. Even if a customer is having a product which is failing, an organization knowing it in advance, and we are able to serve customer is going to create a different kind of experience for a customer. So our roadmap is now to look for connected solutions. It's totally kind of dovetailed with our R&D journey to have a luminous connected network. So whereby our all devices are connected with customers directly, and we are able to serve our customers better in terms of having a complete digital experience. So more or less, this is what we are looking forward to enhance the digital experience for customer using the connected devices.
So I think in the interest of time, we'll just restrict one last question.
One last question
I
in
think
the back there. The
gentleman
gentleman
there.
raised his hand.
Hello. I'm Neeraj from SAP. So my question would be, I really like these three themes which Indus is working on: the collaborate, co-innovate, and the influence. What fascinates me more is the co-innovate part. So what I would like to ask is, Vipul, from your point of view, from Luminous, how would you think that you would co-innovate, or what is your idea of co-innovating with firms like SAP? What do you mean when you say co-innovate with SAP? What would be your process to do that?
I would let Chandar answer that in the long-term domain. To my mind, the customization is very key. I think SAP has a phenomenal, I've not worked a lot on the SAP, but I think the data warehousing is, my experience is phenomenal. But I think the customization and to be able to understand various different verticals and bring that, the essence of the business out in a manner which allows decision making is, I think, which is the need of the hour. The data is amazing. You can get any amount of data up there. But I think the challenge in business is in how much time do I need to spend to take a decision? Do I need to see all the hundreds, Excel spreadsheets, or at this point in time, I need to see only these 3 points of data and take a decision? I think that's the domain which, business managers are going to be continuously challenged, because as the time would shorten, they need to make faster decisions and they need to be accurate. That's the business challenge today. Because somebody else in somebody else's room is also using SAP. And me and my guys need to beat that decision making. And that decision making ability will come from usage, and to the ability and the versatility to be able to address the slices of information which can help you to take the decision faster, better and accurate. That's the business situation which I think is the need of the hour. It's like timely perfect decision is more important than the best perfect decision.